The combination of the S's in Turn 5 is one of the most recognizable features of Road Atlanta. Turn 5 is a critical corner because it leads onto a long straightaway, so we've got to concentrate on that exit speed. It's also a steep uphill climb, so maintaining the momentum is very important. We're going to do this by concentrating on the proper speed into the corner. Let's take a look at it. We've tracked just to the middle of the road here. If I was in third gear, I'm going to make a nice slow shift up to fourth gear. Turn in now, beginning to squeeze the power on as I head down into the S's. Just trying to straighten the S's out the best that I can. And now what is very critical here is to get the car set up correctly for turn 5. I'm going to try to position the car in as much of a straight line as I can. I'm braking, I'm downshifting, and what I want to try to do here is to carry the brake up to the turning point. Now turn in and begin squeezing that power on, concentrating on exit speed. I want to make sure I run all the way to the outside edge of the road, getting the car in a straight line, trying to straighten the S's out the best that we can. Using the weight transfer as it rolls back and forth across the car, off the power early, on that brake, downshift, reach the turning point, turn in, transition back over to that power, squeeze it on, let the car track all the way out. There's a few things we can take advantage of here in Turn 6. First is, as we enter the braking zone, we're braking uphill. This is going to help to slow the car. And now the other thing is, as we enter the corner, we get a lot of camber or banking that we can take advantage of. This is going to help to hold the car to the road in this pretty much constant radius corner. Okay, coming down into Turn 6, we're over to the left-hand side of the road. We're going to reach our braking point on the brakes, downshifting, usually to third gear, turn in. There's a lot of banking in this corner, something we can use to our advantage that helps to hold the car to the road. Letting the car track all the way to the outside edge, getting ourselves positioned for turn 7. Now, coming down into turn 6 from the exterior, I'm on that brake, downshifting, again, taking advantage of the banking. One of the problems that people have in this corner is they tend to overslow the car, not taking advantage of the camber that's in the road. Turn 7 is one of the most critical corners here on the racetrack because it leads onto the longest straightaway. We want to take our time on our entry and concentrate on exit speed. Now approaching turn 7, I'm hard on the brake, threshold level of braking coming in, holding the car parallel with the curb in a straight line. Often going down to second gear here. It's a good trail braking corner. I trail the brake in, trying to help to get the front end to turn in better. And then when the car points, becomes directional, I'm back on that power, squeezing it on, trying to make this straightaway as long as I can. It's a very critical corner. It's a long straightaway. I want to come off of here just as fast as I can, letting the car track all the way to the outside edge of the road. All right, here we enter the braking zone. We're keeping the car in a straight line. Stay off of that curbing. It upsets the balance of the car. Turning in. One of the things you can reference off of here is that concrete patch. You're full throttle now. Accelerating off of the corner using all of the road that's available. A lot of drivers have problems here in Turn 7. Let's take a look at some of those mistakes that are often made. This is a very common mistake. We're going to come down into the corner. And what I'm going to do is to turn in early. What it ends up doing is sacrificing exit speed. We turn in just a few feet early. Everything is looking good so far. But what's going to happen here is that I'm going to be forced to add steering input to keep the car from running off the road at the exit. This also causes me to lose speed and back off the throttle many times. Now here's from the inside of the car. You can see what the effects are. Tracking out, running out of road, having to add steering input, as well as backing off the accelerator. All right, now let's take a look at another mistake here. This time I'm going to turn in late. What you'll see here is another compromised result. I will not end up using all of the road at the exit of the corner. Again, I'm sacrificing exit speed. From the inside of the car, you can see the late turn in, late apex, and not using all of the road at the exit. This this new section of track, turns 10A and 10B, offer some interesting challenges. Also, they create a great overtaking zone coming down here into the braking area for 10A. Now 10B, the challenge lies in that it's an uphill turn. We need to concentrate on exit speed here because the better we do off of this corner, the better we're going to do through turn 12 and on down to that front straightaway. It's a corner where we've got to concentrate on maintaining momentum. All right, now approaching the new section of the racetrack, turns 10A and 10B. We're heavy on the brakes. You got to remember, you're braking downhill here. Gravity is working against you. Typically having to go down at least one gear, perhaps even two. There's a little bit of a trail brake required with some types of cars in this corner. This will help you to set up the corner, getting the car to turn in correctly. You're apexing. Now you're back onto that power. You may have to breathe off the throttle just slightly to get the car to turn back into the right-hand corner. But we want to concentrate on as much exit speed as possible coming off of this right-hander. This is what's going to really determine how much speed we carry down the front straightaway. All right, now let's take a look at that corner from a different angle. This way you get a different perspective here, and we can really see the compromise that has to be made in the left-hand turn, turn 10A. This is very important because this is going to allow us to set up correctly for turn 10B, the right-hander. Want to be able to get maximum speed off of 10B, approaching turn 11, the bridge. Okay, now let's take a look at it from inside the car. You can see the late turn in. Now we start to squeeze that power back on. You can also see the compromise. I'm pretty much in the middle of the road. Breathe the throttle back a little bit. Turn in. Full throttle off of 10B, on up to the bridge. Now let's stop right here. One of the things I want you to take notice of is the positioning of the car coming up to the bridge. What I try to do here is to position the car between the yellow and red lights just under the Michelin sign there at the bridge. This is going to allow me to have the proper approach for turn 12. There are a few common mistakes that are made here in turn 10A and 10B. We want to take a look at those and make sure that we're getting through here as well as we can. Let's take a look at a mistake that often occurs here in 10A. We're going to turn in slightly early. Everything appears to be fine at this point. I'm carrying decent speed into the corner, but watch what happens. I end up running out of room here at the exit, and I'm forced to have to pinch the steering wheel to be able to get around turn 10B. This causes me to lose speed at the exit of B, and then I'm slow up to the bridge. All right, now let's take a look at this corner from inside the car. Early turn in. Back on the power early. Now here's where the problem occurs, is I'm forced to have to drive out around turn 10B, and you can see how I'm running out of road at the exit of 10B, which makes me slower up this hill.